Alright, hello and welcome to this Week 7 of the NAGA Football League. Today we get to watch Wichita at OKC. It's going to be a clear night with a little bit of wind, but not too much. These two teams are fighting for essentially what is second place behind St. Louis. OKC at 4-2, Wichita trailing them at 3-3, all behind at the moment, the leading St. Louis team. As you can go ahead and see their lineup of David Kreutzer and Brandon Gilligan, Calvin Cousins, and of course Kenny Matlock, and then following it up, Malcolm Braxton and Jamal Edwards. Let's go ahead and take a look at the expert picks. All the experts have OKC winning, mostly in a blowout fashion besides Danny, who has them winning by 4 points, and of course the verdict is that OKC has a 54% chance winning, based on 1,000 simulations. So this should be a close game. I'm going to go ahead and head into the matchup now. And I welcome you all to the Train Depot, the obvious home of the NAGA League, as Wichita will choose. And OKC decides to receive. That's how we will kick this game off. But what a year it has been. We are already into Week 7. These last 3 games are really going to determine who goes to the playoffs and who stays home. So Edwards now with the return. Taken down immediately at the 20. My goodness. Nowhere to go. 3 defenders in his face. But at least he got to the 20-yard line. Gilligan under center, as he's faced the defense for years on end, and hands off to Matlock, and Matlock off to the right, rushes the man off, taken down by 94. What great hustle that was. However, defensive back Burton, number 28, is injured on the play, but he is expected to return. Gilligan motion the man to the inside. That's number 88, Turner. Back to pass. 4-man rush. He has all day. Has a man in his face. Bombing it deep. And he gets Edwards. What a nice throw and a nice catch for a gain of 47. And OKC is knocking on the door of the red zone in just one play. 1 for 1, Brandon Gilligan is. What a way to start the night off for him. It appears the Cole curse may not be real today. Gilligan back to pass. Got a man in his face, dumps it off to Turner. Turner beyond the sticks. And the first down marker, a gain of 13. They are in the red zone. At this point, you do not want to have a situation where you turn the ball over. You just want to leave with some points. Gilligan under center, Matlock behind him as he motions the man out to the right. That's number 87, Richardson. Gilligan back to pass, 4-man rush once again. Gilligan surveying, he's going to launch it. Oh my goodness, into double coverage and almost picked off. That would have been a possible pick 6. And a natural Cole curse, as once the team gets into the red zone and I say you need to get points, they turn the ball over. Gilligan takes the handoff. Blitz incoming, throws off. Deflected, but there is a flag against the defense for pass interference. And that will be first and goal at the 1. Gilligan under center, Matlock ready to run this one in as Gilligan now motions the man from the far right all the way to the left. My goodness. Edwards getting his cardio in as Matlock throws a man off and is still pushing forward. Oh my goodness, a loss of 4. Sheds 2, maybe 3 tackles. Wow. And defensive back Burton is back in. Kadarius Burton, their number 1 defensive back on the defense. So that makes sense why they got that large play as Matlock now runs to the right, cuts it inside, and takes it in for a touchdown, taken down by number 1. And Kenny Matlock will put OKC on the board. So Marquez Clark now comes in for Kenny Matlock. Gilligan the hold, Visconti the kick, and the PAT is good. That'll be OKC leading 7-0. And at this point, you have to wonder, will Kreutzer be able to sort of pick himself up, as it were. He had a bit of regression from last week. I believe he was noted around the camp losing some ability to read a lot of what the defense had given him. He's a little bit shaken up as Braxton gets taken down shy of the 25, but they will actually give him the 25. I believe it was his, as well as they noted, the accuracy had been a tinge off, and his awareness, ability to see the plays and the defense has fallen off mightily. Ever since that Pro Bowl, Kreutzer has not looked the same. He's flashed significance, but that was when he actually had a team around him. Perhaps he just needs a new scene, perhaps, as Kreutzer back to pass. Four-man rush. He's going to bomb it deep, and he's got a man wide open. It's Braxton for a gain of 45 yards. I guess all I need to do is talk some trash, and the quarterbacks will play perfect. As that is now back-to-back opening pass play drives with a gain of 40 or more yards. Kreutzer hands it off to Cousins. Cousins taken down to the knees, but vaults over for a gain of 5. And Wichita is 5 yards out from the red zone. Kreutzer surveying, and he motions the receiver to the inside, hands off to Cousins. Cousins run up to the right, taken down shy of the first down marker. That'll be 3rd and 1. And you can definitely tell this Wichita team really trusts Kreutzer until they get into the red zone area, as they would prefer to just hand it off, but this may be a pass play, as Kreutzer motions number 87, Westmoreland, and Cousins off to the right, and he's taken down for a loss of 1. That's 4th and 2, and such a promising drive after one pass play, followed up by 3 run plays. Now it's a kick. Might have to be wondering, as a Wrangler fan, if perhaps the OC and the kick is not good. My goodness. Wow. What was thought to be automatic is not. Wichita misses, and now OKC has the ball at the 23. Wow. That is not what you want to see if you're a Wichita fan. Gilligan hands off to Matlock. Matlock has a lane to the right, brushes a man off, shimmies away from a man, fumbles, but Turner picks the ball up. It'll be a total team gain of 8 yards. Wow. A mad sequence of events. Matlock shimmied a man so hard, not only did he break his ankles, he lost the grip of his own football. Put on the ground, and Turner up with the fumble recovery. Matlock off to the right. Matlock has a major lane, stiff arms a man. Gain of 10 yards. Jarvis Sosabe coming in for Kadarius Burton now. DeMarquez Clark coming in for Kenny Matlock. As Gilligan now under center, motioning the man out to the right, hands off to Clark. Clark has a lane, taken down, gain of 7. A fantastic effort play by number 17 on the defense. And I am looking at the incorrect sheet, that is why I'm unable to see him. It's Brandon Gilligan under center. Back to pass, gets taken down. Oh my goodness. 3rd and 7. The right tackle just gave up on the play. That is not what you want to see. Wow. He had all day if the tackle would have not given up. Gilligan back to pass. Massive rush. Burrows with a great catch over the middle. That'll be 1st down. And Jarvis Sosabe, as I am attempting to look up who this man is, as I do not see him on the depth chart at all. Which is weird, as Gilligan back to pass, got a blitzer in his face, had all day to throw it away, taken down for a loss of 7. That's Thornton with the sack. Jarvis Sosabe, I do not see... there we go. It's Jarvis Sosabe. He's actually their 2nd string free safety. That's interesting. Wichita, not really known for their defensive back quality, as there is now encroachment against the defense. It'll be 2nd and 12 from the Wichita 49. Graded across the league on a scale of 0 to 99. Kadarius Burton is an 85, graded out. Davion Connolly is an 81, and then there is a 7-point drop-off to Maverick Finley, their 3rd string cornerback. But for some reason, Jarvis Sosabe, graded as a 75 overall free safety, is being put in his stead. Interesting. Gilligan back to pass. He's launching it. Ooh, number 21. And that is Maverick Finley, their third-string cornerback I just discussed. A great swat. 2 rushes for 17 yards, yet they've passed for 4 times. Interesting. Gilligan back to pass. He's got a defender, and he will get taken down immediately. He had 2 defenders down the field with only, or 2 receivers down the field with 1 defender. Could have possibly been a play of the year with a touchdown pass, but that is not so. Wichita gets the pressure. OKC punts away. And while they do so, we will go ahead and look at their defensive line, which is actually pretty stacked. I will not lie to you. As well as Ricky Thornton, number 17, their outside linebacker, rated one of their best defenders outside of David Owolabi. Kreutzer back to pass. Defender in his face, launching it to the left. Braxton gets it and taken down, and they'll say he's short, 2nd and inches. Cousins in the backfield. Kreutzer, there is a flag and a false start against Malcolm Braxton, number 10, the wide receiver, 2nd and 5 now. What could have possibly been a quarterback rush is, well, now going to have to be a running back play or a passing play. There is, I don't know if Kreutzer has the legs for that. Hands off to Cousins, sheds the tackler, cuts it back inside, gain of 2 yards. That'll be 3rd and 3, not exactly the start you want to see. Going from 2nd and inches to now 3rd and 3. And yet you gain 2 yards in the play. Kreutzer back to pass, going to bomb it immediately to Alexander, and what a catch. My goodness. Wow. David Kreutzer just throwing into such a tight window, and Alexander coming down with it. Probably the more impressive part of that. Cousins in the backfield. Heavy defense to the right. Kreutzer hands off to the left, and Cousins gets taken down, chopped down at the hip for a gain of 1 yard. Kreutzer tosses to Cousins. Cousins loses the ball. Alexander then picks it up for a -1. My goodness, now Jarvis Malone comes in for Calvin. Not exactly what you want to see. He had all daylight. He could have broken another tackle. Fumbled again, the 2nd time today. Kreutzer motions Malone out to the right. He's going to bomb it to the left, and that's Braxton with an incredible catch, but there is a flag, and it's against the offense, Jonathan Valerie. Not what you wanted to see. That, my goodness. Finally gets some momentum before the first half ends, and it's taken away. And I do not think they will get the snap off in time. And they will not. That is the end of the first quarter. OKC 7, Wichita 0. And this couldn't have been a more close game. Both teams possibly could have put up points in the first half. Wichita getting their own way as they're now going to try and run it on 3rd down, and they almost had it. Gain of 11 yards, any other play, that's a 1st down. Unfortunately for them, that's a 4th and 9. And they will now punt. OKC now gets the ball back with a possible chance at points. And he will try to punt this one to the corner. My goodness, Lisenby. My goodness, just destroyed by number 16. That'll be 1st and 10 on the 17. Just stood there and took that hit. Didn't even try to shake him out of his boots. I guess he was trying to psychologically mess with him. You know, normally players try to maneuver, but he just didn't care. It's Kenny Matlock chopped down at the hip for a gain of 8 yards. 2nd and 2. This Wichita defensive line, extremely powerful against this offensive line for OKC. And they have to be. Their secondary is not exactly the best, as Gilligan hands off to Matlock, and he's taken down for loss of 4 yards. My goodness. If I am OKC, and I am the offensive coordinator, I would look to Gilligan to pass the ball. This team cannot do much against this defensive line, and it is showing. Gilligan motions the man out to the right. Back to pass Gilligan. His man in his face, taken down, immediately loss of 7. That's Wilson. My goodness. Gilligan, on a known pass play, does not throw the ball away quick enough. And you know what? That's fair enough to the OC for running. As the punt is away, and this is almost at the midfield. Brooks, and he gets a good block, but the man just... I don't know, he just rose to the occasion, I should say. My goodness. Got absolutely flattened and just picked himself back up like it didn't matter. Kreutzer under center. The fullback and Cousins line up behind him. Kreutzer with the handoff to the fullback, Clayton, and Clayton goes up for a gain of 2 whole yards. And there is a face mask, so this will be a 17-yard gain. Now 1st and 10 at the 29. And if only we could tack the yardage onto the fullback. Unfortunately, he will end that drive or performance with 0 rushes and 0 yards. As Cousins gets the handoff to the right, he's got a lane. It's chopped down at the hip by number 20. Gain of 11 yards. And I do believe that, in fact, was Lisenby. So I head on over to their roster. It is J.R. Lisenby, number 20. A rising star in this league. Despite his age of 27, Kreutzer back to pass. 4-man rush and a spy. He's going to launch it over into, that was 5-man coverage. I don't even know what the term for that would be. Quintuple? We'll just say quadruple plus 1. David Kreutzer, 3 of 4 for 72 yards. When he can pass, he gets it off well. Cousins off to the right. Cuts it inside for some reason, but gains 7. It's now 3rd and 3. This is the part where they missed the field goal. Though last time they were also outside of the red zone, this is their first trip inside of it. Can they get any points? Kreutzer. Empty back set now as he motions the running back down. He's going to launch it immediately. Oh my goodness, who was that? Who was that? What's your number, buddy? Who are you? Number 87. Oof, that's gotta hurt. Tayshawn Richardson, their 3rd-string wide receiver, a rising star in the league, dropped the easiest pass of his life, and they have to settle for a 28-yard field goal. Rupert with the 3 points, so 1 red zone trip, 1 score. 6 minutes and 50 seconds remain in the second quarter. As Edwards now with the return. Taken down by number 52 at the 27-yard line. A gain of 7 yards on the return in technicality. Anything beyond the 20 is a gain. Anything before the 20 is a loss. As Gilligan motions Matlock out to the left. Empty backfield. He's going to pass this ball. 4-man rush. He's got all day. Past the first down yard line. And I apologize, as I've just realized I was reading OKC's roster sheet. 87 is actually tight end Craig Westmoreland for Wichita. However, he is also a rising star. And basically the same talent level as Tayshawn. And Gilligan bombs it deep. And number 15 unable to come down with it. Unfortunately, the new office that I've been relocated to in the NAGA facilities does not have a printer, so I don't have the rosters as easily on hand as I normally do. Brandon Gilligan about to fall under 50%. Should he fail another pass play, Matlock gets an easy first down. My goodness, and then some more yards. 13-yard gain. As Wichita sits quietly on the sidelines after only 3 points, hoping that OKC does not score on this drive. Gilligan, empty backfield, back to pass. 4-man rush. He's got all day. Addison did some... I don't know what he was doing. He was hitting the gritty or something over there before he got the ball. That's how open he was. I mean, when you got that much time, you might as well just do whatever you want. What are they going to do? Tackle you? They're 30 yards out. It's a 2nd and 5 now. Number 15, Edwards, motion to the inside. Gilligan back to pass. He's going to bomb it over the right in quadruple coverage. My goodness. Wide receiver comebacks. Not exactly the play you'd like to see. Gilligan, Matlock flanking his right side. This could be a run up the middle, if they feel so. But Matlock is pretty slow, so I don't know if they'd really do that. Gilligan back to pass. They do not. He's going to pass it immediately. Number 86, unable to come down with it. And despite having a comeback play drawn up, he ran a straight route. That's intriguing. Because I know when I'm a quarterback, I love when my players do not run the route they're supposed to. But maybe that was an audible, you know? Maybe, hey, if you get to a certain point, defensive back is about 5 yards off, just keep running straight. You know, don't worry about the guy to your left that's got 3 yards of space between you and him. Just go ahead and run straight. Kreutzer back to pass. He has all day into double coverage, and Green grabs it, a gain of 42 yards. Wow. That was a catch. Both safeties converging on him at once. Wow. And he still came down with it. Most receivers don't. They're too scared of the hit. Kreutzer back to pass. 4-man rush. He's got a defender in his face. Unable to get away. Minus 8 yards. And that is Sean Westbrook. One of the best defensive end talents that there is. And he is just taking names today. Kreutzer over the middle. Number 31 unable to come down with it. Defensive line for OKC and Wichita. This is probably the bigger storyline than offense versus offense. These two defensive lines are incredible, and they show it. Back-to-back plays. Kreutzer throwing over to the left, caught by Braxton. Braxton almost had a massive lane, and that's a gain of 40 yards. These defensive lines commit pressure, force inaccurate throws, or just straight up get a sack, TFL. I mean, these are great defensive lines, but it doesn't matter if they can't get home, because your secondary is not that great. As Kreutzer motions number 19 out to the right. It's back to pass in the end zone. There's a flag caught by Braxton, but this might be called back. It's not. It's holding. That's a touchdown. Braxton leads Wichita to a 2-point lead at the moment. They're now waiting for their field goal kicker to put them up by 3. And Malcolm Braxton, in just 4 receptions, has 106 yards and a touchdown. PAT is good. Braxton definitely showing off the wheels and showing off why you need to have a good coverage corner. Though, don't be too upset about it, OKC fans. He is rated as one of the top 10 best wide receivers in the league. Edwards with the return, taken down short of the 20-yard line. In fact, I'd go as far to say that Braxton actually might be a top 7 wide receiver. He is one of the higher elite talents in this league. Doesn't exactly have the greatest of catching skills, but that doesn't matter. Matlock, oh my goodness, he's just going for a gain of 12 yards. Nobody able to stop this man. Deer in headlights taunt, followed up by a celebration. Kenny Matlock, 9 rushes for 45 yards and a touchdown. Their lone touchdown for the day. Gilligan, back to pass, 4-man rush. He's got all day. Defender pops open free. Matlock gets a gain of 5 yards off of that pass. DeMarcus Clark now coming in for Kenny Matlock. As we head on over to the OKC roster. Gilligan, back to pass, 4-man rush. Major pressure in his face. He's going to launch it. Oh my goodness, number 17. Almost had the interception. Ricky Thornton has his thumbprints all over this game today. My goodness. Matlock back in. The slower running back. Gilligan back to pass. Going to launch it immediately short of the first down yard line. What are you doing? That's a 4th and 2. An interesting tactic, I must say. You know, you don't do that unless you're going for a 4th down conversion. So, definitely think Gilligan is trying to get his completion percentage up as Brooks evades a would-be tackler. And And this might be the slowest kick return touchdown I've ever seen in my life. Brooks pushing the man all the way. And he failed the tackle. What a punt return touchdown. Oh my goodness. Wow. He waited. He was trying to bait him. You know, he's standing there going, I don't want to move. He looks over. He says, all right, now's my time to shine. And he tries to tackle the wrong guy. What a play. The PAT is good. Wichita now taking a commanding 10-point lead. And you have to thank Gilligan for that punt return touchdown. It doesn't matter what anybody thinks. I get it. The punt return team players are the runs responsible. Well, that doesn't happen if Gilligan doesn't throw 2 yards shy of the first down marker on a 3rd and 5. Edwards taken down at the 20-yard line. And it'll be 1st and 10 with 2 minutes and 16 seconds remaining. I believe that might be one of the slowest clocked speed returns in NAGA history, as Gilligan hands off to Matlock. Matlock bowling his way in for a 7-yard gain. And this will hit the 2-minute warning for OKC. And OKC will look to reconvene. Wichita adjusting their defense just slightly. Kenny Matlock, 10 for 52 yards, 1 reception, 5 yards. Averaging 5 yards across the board, and I don't know what I just saw, but there were 6 dudes in Matlock's face, and there you go. They engaged 8 blitzers at once. OKC had no idea what to do, and they lost yardage. Gilligan under center, Matlock in the backfield. Gilligan hands off to Matlock. Matlock sheds the would-be tackler, charging forward, but it is not enough once again. And wide receiver number 16, Knight, DeAndre Knight. It's a leg injury, but he is expected to return. Wichita, the punt is off, looking for another punt return touchdown. Can they do it? Brooks. No, he does not. Take it down immediately. 1st and 10. 1 minute, 41 seconds remaining. Wichita could actually put this game out of reach. Punt return touchdowns usually are a sign of a game-ending performance. Hertzer back to pass, launching it immediately over the left. Westmoreland with a great catch. I think that's the first time we've ever seen that animation come down with a catch. It's a gain of 14 yards. 1st and 10 at the 47. 1 minute and 25 left. Hertzer back to pass. Gonna bomb it deep to the right to Braxton, and Braxton has a wide open touchdown. Wow, this crowd doesn't even know what to say. 23-7, Wichita pouring it on OKC. My goodness, Kreutzer, 8 of 11, 232 yards and 2 touchdowns in the first half alone. Kicks up, and kick is good. What was a bad starting omen for Wichita has only proven to be greatness in disguise. This OKC fan base cannot exactly be thrilled. The number of comebacks down double digits, I believe, is not even more than 3. As Edwards now returning, and I don't even know if it's more than 1. All we really know of officially, on my end at least, is Raleigh coming back against Memphis, winning that game, and going on to the conference championship. Gilligan bombing it. Ooh, unable to come down with it, number 87. 2nd and 10. That or it was the divisional round, Brandon Gilligan, 50%, 7 of 14 for 91 yards. All that effort to get his completion percentage up, and it doesn't work, and that is deflected by Thornton, number 17, the linebacker, putting in more work than some defensive backs out there. That's what you got to do, right? I mean, he's more talented than the defensive back, so you might as well make him help bracket a wide receiver. Gilligan motioning number 87, Richardson to the inside. Matlock destroys a man, but hit tackled by number, I don't know what that was, number 6 just phased through him. But he will be taken down after a gain of 6 yards. and Wichita calls their final timeout. Punt is away. Brooks with the return, 2 men to beat, and he is unable to beat him. 1st and 10 at the 36. OKC regains DeAndre Knight. They definitely could have used him earlier. Though with Gilligan throwing the ball like that, I don't really know if it would have made much of a difference. Kreutzer flanked by the fullback and Cousins as he motions the fullback to the right. Back to pass. Kreutzer is going to launch it immediately. Ooh, great stop by number 20. That would have easily been another touchdown pass to Braxton, as the safety had already fallen to the ground. David Kreutzer, 8 of 12 now. A good stat line for Kreutzer, 66 completion percent. Kreutzer back to pass, got blitzers on the right side. He's going to launch it. There's a flag against the defense on Sean Westbrook. That'll be 1st and 10. Not exactly what you want to see if you're an OKC fan. Your best player committing penalties, giving up yardage. Not exactly the greatest thing in the world. It's Kreutzer. Flanked by Cousins, back to pass, gonna bomb it over the middle. Unable to come down with it, number 19. And OKC just looking to hold them to something, and Wichita looking to pass as hard and as fast as they can. Kreutzer under center, empty backfield, 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end, 3 men to the right. Kreutzer surveying back to pass, got blitzers in his face into triple coverage. Number 16 unable to come down with it. 3rd and 10, and now what was a promising start to this drive at 66% completion rate is now daringly close to 50% as Kreutzer, fullback, and Cousins in the backfield. And now they decide to run it with a block. Cousins, unable to get it, 7-yard gain. OKC now calls a timeout, looking to do something with 30 seconds. Though if you can't do anything with 20 minutes, I don't know what you're going to be able to do with 30 seconds. So, prove me wrong. Levenger, oh my goodness, this could be a coffin punt. Almost. 1-yard line. Zach McQueen still holds the best punt of the year so far at the 0-inch line, literally spotting the ball at the end zone. Gilligan back to pass in his own end zone. He's going to launch in a triple coverage. Number 15 is unable to come down with it. That is Jamal Edwards, their number 1 wide receiver. Gilligan, back to pass, 4-man rush. He's going to launch it, and the fullback is just too slow. Not exactly the person you want to put out there if you need to be catching fast passes. And again, Gilligan dumping it off 5 yards, 8 yards, 6 yards. Not what you want to see in this situation as Matlock now runs it out. And they just want to get to the half. What a disappointing drive by the Oklahoma City Tornadoes. As that will start the second half. Let's go ahead and skip on right into it. We already know what's going on here. It's a blowout. I mean, it's bad. Visconti with the kick deep. Braxton with the return. Braxton pulling up past the 20-yard line, down to 24. 1st and 10. OKC really hoping that they can stop this Wichita offense that has suddenly come alive after the punt return touchdown. Kreutzer back to pass. He's got all day. He's going to dump it off to the left to Westmoreland. Number 19 is not going to assist him in that block. He's just going to let him get 4 yards. That is quite the play by Alexander. I guess he wants more glory for himself. Kreutzer in center, Cousins in the backfield. Encroachment, however, against Cedric Lunsford. 5-yard penalty. It is now 2nd and 1. And yeah, you can definitely tell this OKC team is shaken. They are rattled. And to be fair, I mean, this is not something you expected. Kreutzer, just a couple of weeks ago, was having one of the worst games of his career as Cousins runs off to the right. He'll get a first down of 4 yards. You know, Kreutzer just not performing the way he's supposed to. He's not looking at all like himself from the Pro Bowl that he shined so well in, looking like the league's greatest quarterback. And then you play him at home, and he shows up, and he dunks 24 points on your head as he dumps off to Cousins, and Cousins with an incredible spin. Gain of 12. Jarvis Malone now comes in. Have not seen him in here for a while, though to be fair, that's because Kreutzer has been bombing the ball deep on 2 of the drives that he was needed on. And Malone will get no gain. 2nd and 10. Malone up the middle to the left, still has time. Gain of 7 yards. 3rd and 3. Cousins comes back in. Cousins right up the middle. My goodness, no one was expecting that. Gain of 7. 1st and 10 at the 38. My goodness. And Malone off to the left, a gain of 5. And I apologize for the late commentary as my nose is deciding to run during this commentary. So that's very fun. Cousins in the way backfield. Looks like they're probably just going to run this the rest of the way. Loss of 3 yards. That's Ragsdale finally making an appearance today. Jarvis Malone now comes in. Wichita, 3rd and 8, and this has got to be a pass play. Kreutz is probably looking over the middle. Motioning Malone out to the right. Empty backfield. Back to pass. 4-man rush. Got all day. Gonna bomb it over the middle to Braxton. Gain of 28 yards. And if it ain't broke, ladies and gentlemen, don't fix it. Braxton constantly beating these free safeties, these strong safeties. The cornerback one, I mean, he is having a day. My goodness, 6 for 187 yards and 2 touchdowns. Cousins, lost 2 yards, 2nd and goal. And I apologize, that was my phone, as I forgot to turn the sound off. That is a notification from the Act Man playing Red Dead Redemption 2. Kreutzer, back to pass. Launching over to Alexander. Alexander taken down after a gain of 4 yards. Cousins now comes in. 3rd and goal at the 6. It's very shocking. Sometimes you get YouTube notifications and other times you don't. The one time I don't need to, it does. 4-man rush over the right of 87. He is unable to come down with it. On his right side, he pans over, the usual animation, and dropped it. Oh well. Rupert with the kick, and it's good. 23-yard field goal is confirmed. It's 27-7, though don't be alarmed, everyone. This could have been 30-7. So Wichita prepares for the kickoff. 5 minutes and 30 seconds remaining. And everyone place your bets as Edwards now runs forward past the 20-yard line. That'll be a gain of 3 yards at the 23. Place your bets of the over-under. How many plays will it take for this team to punt? I say it'll be a 3-and-out. Gilligan back to pass. 4-man rush. He's going to launch it over the middle. Matlock taken down after a gain of 9. 2nd and 1. And OKC taking their sweet time. Kenny Matlock, 14 for 62. 2 for 14. Hands off to Matlock. Matlock, oh my goodness. They'll give him the first down, but man, was that close. David Awolabi, subbed in by Montrell Douglas. And for the first time, OKC has completed their first down. As false start against the offense, Eric Dahl, that allows David Awolabi to come back in. we'll go ahead and take a look at how intense would that have been. Let's see. David Awolabi, Montreal Douglas. Oh, man, that's a severe talent drop-off. That would have been the play. Gilligan back to pass. He got defenders in his face. Burrows taken down. Gain of 2 yards. 2nd and 13. I think that false start was just because how excited OKC was to finally get another 40-yard type play. With Awolabi out, that is about a 7-point talent difference. Gilligan all day, but he's going to dump it off to Turner for a gain of 3. And, man, it's not much you can really do if you're OKC's offensive coordinator. The quarterback constantly is dropping the ball off in critical 6 to 7 yard gain situations. Gilligan hands off to Matlock. Matlock trying his hardest, going to try to break 7 tackles. Only gains 5 yards. Off a blitz, that's pretty good. But it's 4th and 5. And OKC will punt again. I believe that was 1 first down. And then they went 3 and out. Brooks past the 20-yard line, taken down by number 15 at the 23. Yeah. This OKC offense is being held in check by this Wichita defense, which, again, pretty shocking considering that they don't have much talent out there. Kreutzer over the middle. I cannot believe what I just saw. Number 51 batted the ball into Braxton's hand, and he gets a first down. And that's how you know this game is not going to go your way. No matter how hard you try, things will break Wichita's way. Fakes the handoff, blitzer in his face, dumps off to the left. Alexander, gain of 5, 2nd and 5. My goodness. I mean, Wichita has no reason to be this good in this game at all. Their secondary is terrible. But somehow, some way, they're doing it. As Cousins gets the handoff running off to the left, charges forward for a gain of 5, but they're going to say 3rd and inches. And they are trying to drain this clock as much as they can, as Kreutzer is probably going to hand off to Cousins, who's either going to run... he's running left. There he is. Cousins shakes off a defender, falls forward for a gain of 2. Yeah, see, rookie mistake by Kreutzer, despite Kreutzer being 32 years old, by the way. You don't motion a wide receiver who's already on the left side further inside. That just tells everyone, hey, we're running to the left, good luck. And I'm sorry, but Cousins is not exactly a Gooden or B.J. Austin. As Malone rushes off to the left, Malone gets a gain of 4 yards. 2nd and 6, Calvin Cousins coming back in. And it seems that Wichita loves the run to the left. I think they've ran that 4 times now. That's crazy. Go! There's a play action. Blitzer in his face, but the fullback picks it up. And who dropped that? Oh my goodness. I think that was number 19 that dropped that. Wow, you cannot drop that. You cannot. Easiest pass of your life, and it just hits you in the chest. Kreutzer motion the man to the right. That's Alexander, possibly moving him out of the play selection. And he throws to number 32, and he is unable to come down with it. Calvin Cousins. A crucial drop during a crucial game. Clevenger punts it just outside the 20. I should say the inside the 20. That'll be down at the 17-yard line. Gilligan back to pass. Got defenders all up in his face. My goodness. That'll be 2nd and 10. Gilligan under center. Motions the man to the inside. Back to pass. 4-man rush. He has all day, and he'll throw it away despite a streaking wide open player. Man, this OKC team is just not feeling it today. Brandon Gilligan, 10 of 22 for 105 yards, and 40 of those came off one play. Tayshaun Richardson, false start. That'll now be 3rd and 15. And if you needed any reason to think that this is just not OKC's day, there you go. Not only does the quarterback stat line prove it, but now they're false starting. And they're probably going to run this out. No, they will not. A shocker. They're going to throw it. Number 21 with a deflection. OKC now gets ready to punt. 22 seconds left. Punt is away. This is near the 50-yard line. Brooks. 88 there to stop him. They have put all their effort in this special teams ever since that punt return touchdown. My goodness. Cousins in the backfield. They're going to motion the man out to the left. They're going to run it to the left. Cousins with a major gain of 7 yards, and that will take us to the fourth quarter with only 5 seconds remaining. 2nd and 3. And we'll head up into the fourth quarter. Wichita up 27-7. And I've seen enough. Wichita is taking the game. Any of you who will now leave early or have left early, we thank you for watching this blowout. We apologize. It was not a little bit more competitive as Cousins loses 6 yards now. Lunsford with the TFL. But we do apologize. But, hey, sometimes the better team wins. And sometimes a team just doesn't have it in themselves to win that day, as well as bad luck. I mean, once 51 deflected that ball right into Braxton's hands, I think everyone in the entire stadium knew this is just not the game. As Cousins is still pushing forward after a gain of 5, it'll be 4th and 4. What a play that was. Clevenger with the punt, and that'll be a touchback. The saddest part of this all is the only time that OKC did amazing was when number 28, Kadarius Burton, went out for injury, and they bombed it deep for a 40-yard gain and an ensuing touchdown. Gilligan back to pass, dumps it off before he gets taken down. Matlock with a gain of 11, but holding against the defense, so it'll be a 15-yard gain now. Apologies, 16. And I think that's got to be the most glaring part, that Kadarius Burton is that talented to be able to stop an entire offense by himself. Gilligan bombing it to Edwards. Edwards left alone by number 30, a gain of 14. Gilligan hyping himself up despite being down by 20. Interesting tactic. Jamal Edwards, 2 receptions for 61 targets, 61 yards, but 6 targets. I mean, that might as well have been the same stat line that I just read off. I mean, he has done jack squat with his 6 targets. He is caught twice. I mean, you might as well have thrown to the referee at that point. I mean, my goodness. Play action, Gilligan going to throw it away. And that's not exactly what I would do, but it is 4-down territory, I suppose. Not that your defense can really do much. I mean, they let the clock run for 3 minutes. So I don't really know. Gilligan under center, Matlock in the backfield. There's no way they run this. And they do. It's 4th and 8. I don't know, man. I don't know what the OC was thinking. Wilson with a great TFL, and they're not going to go for it. All right. Well, I thought I was going to eat some crow. You know, I was hyping it up. I'm not going to lie. In the back of my head, I was really excited. You know, so that's a punt to the 10-yard line. You know, I was kind of excited. You know, I was like, oh man, they got a 16-yard gain on the first play. They bombed it to Edwards for a 14-yard gain. Then he throws it away, and then, you know, they run it on 3rd and 6. When passing has done them nothing but get them first downs the entire drive. You know, so I don't know. It's one of those things that the offensive coordinator is trying to overthink themselves, you know? Kreutzer. Blitzer in his face! Wow. No way. That's a safety. Oh my goodness. Well, OKC did score more points. They just didn't score it the way they were supposed to. There's Rupert with the kick. It's 27-9 now. That might be a scoregami. As Edwards takes it up to the 35-yard line. Gain of 15 on that play. Gilligan with Matlock to his right, fakes the handoff. He's going to throw it over to Edwards. Edwards with a gain of 11. And a face mask, so this will now be a 26-yard gain. My goodness. 1st and 10 at the Wichita 40. Brandon Gilligan, 13 of 27 for 134 yards. Pitches it on to Matlock. Matlock running to the left. Matlock pushing for 10-yard gain. I'm going to say he's short, 2nd and inches. Gilligan, Matlock, this is a full blitz by Wichita. Ain't no way as Jimmy Burrowfall starts, and it's now 2nd and 5. My goodness. That's exactly what Wichita wanted. Drains the clock and pushes them back. That's a good play. 6.5 minutes remain in the 4th quarter. Down by 18. Matlock off to the right. Matlock with a lane. Breaks the tackle. Pushes forward to the 20-yard line. Gain of 16 yards. And they'll be at the 19-yard line. OKC fans just want to break double-digit points today. As Gilligan motions the man to the right. Surveys, hands off to Matlock. Matlock sheds a would-be tackler. Hurdles a would-be tackler. Gains 6 yards, but the clock is ticking. DeMarquez Clark now in. Kenny Matlock, 1 yard shy of 100 yards. Gilligan back to pass, 4-man rush. He has all day, and Wichita, they do the honorable thing, and they swat the ball away, saying, try again. We don't think you could score a touchdown on us, as long as Kadarius Burton is in the game. Randy Gilligan under center. Clark in the back. He's going to hand off to Clark. Clark is immediately TFL'd for a loss of 2. And the question is, does OKC take the points, or do they go for it? And they take the points. Sharif Wilson, 2 sacks, 6 tackles on the day. Visconti is no good. Oh, my goodness. Wow, the wind coming in, pushing the ball to the outside. After all that, all of that, they walk away with 0 points. They could have capped their drive off with 9 points total. Minimum 5 points total. They leave with 2. Incredible. Kreutzer under center. 2nd and 8. Cousins in the backfield. He will take the handoff. Cousins has a wide lane to the left and fumbles. Braxton picks it up. Gain of 11 yards. I mean, you got to think about it, right? All right, let's go through the hypotheticals, right? OKC gets the safety. They drive down. They score. They put an extra point on. Wichita fumbles. They pick it up. Now, it's 16-27 with a possibility of going up to, 23-27? And then they're 1 drive away with 3 full timeouts. That didn't happen. Oh well. I mean, every break they possibly could have had was right there in their hands, and they failed to take it. Sprucer's 2 yards away from 300, looking to do it. Ooh, dropped by number 51. Unfortunate. Not a single player in that play was the main read. That's incredible. 3rd and 10. Empty backfield. Kreutzer wants his 300 yards. Back to pass. Going to launch it immediately to double coverage. That'll be 4th and 10. And Wichita's playing as if it is 27-23, but it is 27-9. So that's interesting. Lisenbeek taken down, 1st and 10 on 31. It's 3 minutes and 56 seconds has felt like 20 minutes to get here. My goodness. And it's only been 6 minutes and 4 seconds in game. Brandon Gilligan bombing it deep to nobody. 2nd and 10. At this point, it's just going to be a pass play. Until the OC decides that he's going to get cute, and on 3rd and 10, he's going to run it. Which, you know, this looks like a run, so that's interesting. 2nd and 10. It is not. They faked the announcer out, but it doesn't matter because Gilligan threw to the outside again, out of bounds. My goodness, Gilligan is, he's going to have himself a conversation with the OC. That is for sure. Gilligan motions the man to the left. Gilligan back to pass, 4-man rush, going to bomb it over the middle to Turner, and they may say he's short. 1st and 10, never mind. I was assuming they would say it's a 4th and inches type situation, but 3.5 minutes to go, you'd think it'd be a 4th and goal situation anyway. You think it'd be a 4th down situation all 4th quarter. Gilligan back to pass, 4-man rush, got a man on the right. Richardson taken down, out of bounds. The defensive end on the right almost had Gilligan, just not fast enough. Gilligan, Matlock in the back. Back to pass. He's got all day. And he threw right to the linebacker. I mean, if they were wearing white jerseys, I'd assume that would have been a wide receiver that swatted that down. I mean, Mike, he ran the route. That's crazy. 5 passes, 15 pass yards. That's actually more insane, to be completely honest with you. Gilligan motions to the right. Gilligan back to pass on a crucial need. Burrows comes down with it. 8-yard gain. Gotta have it play, and they get it. 1st and 10, 3 minutes remaining in the 4th quarter. Gilligan back to pass. He's got a blitzer coming out from the left, but he passes to Richardson, who runs out of bounds at the 4-yard line. 2nd and 6. A delayed blitz from the secondary, from the free safety, no less. That is never a good play call, in my honest opinion. Unless you have a really fast free safety, that man's not getting there for 2 seconds. That's too much time. Gilligan back to pass. 5-man rush, going to bomb it out to Burrows, who gain of 2 yards, 3rd and 4. It'll be out of bounds. 2 minutes and 49 seconds remain. This could be one of those 6-minute drives that only takes up 40 seconds of game time. Quite annoying if, in this situation at least, where they're down by 20. And Edwards with an incredible catch. 14-yard gain over the middle. What a medicine ball, but he comes down with it. Gilligan, Matlock in the back. Gilligan under center, 4-man rush. Bombing it into, like, the whole secondary and then some. 2nd and... you might as well just spike it at that point. I mean, you're throwing it into 5 defensive players. My goodness. Brandon Gilligan barely above 50% by a pinky toe. Motion the man out to the right. 2nd and 10. Here we go. Back to pass. There's a flag. He's going to bomb it to number... that's 55. That's the defender. But there is offsides against the defense, so it'll be 2nd and 5. Man, the refs really want OKC to breach double digits. Not that it's going to matter. Down by 20. Oh, my God. Down by 18. Gilligan back to pass. Going to launch it. And it's... what an interception by Thornton. Oh, my God. Wow. That's got to be play of the year. No pick 6, but He threw his head back and caught the ball, looking upside down. And that'll seal the game as Cousins drives forward for 7 yards. And I swear if OKC calls timeouts, I'm going to be so upset. You're down by 18. Let it go. You just got picked off in the most incredible way. Shake the hands of the other coach. Let it go. My goodness. Cousins, slow as can be, diving out for an 8-yard gain and a first down. This is a 2-minute warning. 1st and 10. I mean, wow. 2 yards, 15, or 2 plays, 15 yards, compared to OKC's 5 plays, 15 yards, and OKC will take a timeout, annoyingly. Jeff Coat making his first appearance in the game for ATFL. On the stat sheet, I should say. Crew under center. Cousins in the backfield, looking to a run to the left, it looks like. And it's a pitch to the left. Cousins unable to outrun the defender, a gain of 6 yards. It'll be 3rd and 6. OKC calls another timeout. Cousins back in. I apologize, that was Malone on the run. Despite, I swore it said Cousins, but I'm possibly blind. This could be a run to the right. That's Cousins in the back. No, it's a run to the left to the weak side. Cousins pushing forward, and he gets the first down. 8-yard gain. OKC, for some reason, calls a timeout anyways. Not that it matters. 4th quarter, 1 minute, 43 seconds remaining. This will be clock control. And we'll go on and we'll get out of here as Kreutzer kneels it down. I want to thank everyone who actually stuck around. You have got to be a football sicko to stick around for this 27-9 blowout that stopped after the 4th quarter began. My goodness. And Kreutzer will, of course, kneel it down once more. Yeah, this was quite the interesting game. I think OKC really would have been shut out if it wasn't for that Kadarius Burton injury. They bomb it deep. They get the touchdown. Wichita can't do anything for the first 2 drives. They come back. They figure some things out. They get a touchdown. They score a field goal. Then they get a touchdown. Then they get one of the slowest punt return touchdowns ever. And that's what happens. All right, that's the end of the game. Braxton, wide receiver, 7 receptions, 198 yards, shy of 200, 2 touchdowns. And Wilson, the defensive lineman, 2 sacks, 4 TFLs, 6 tackles. Good 100 stats. Brandon Gilligan, 20 of 40, 50% completion rate, 188, 1 interception. David Kreutzer, 15 for 28, 2 touchdowns, 298 yards, 0 interceptions. Look at the game stats. Braxton Wilson, Matlock, 20 for 99 and 1 touchdown, short of 100. Simon O, the defensive back, 12 tackles, 2 pass deflections. Go ahead and we can look at the team leaders here. Then we'll head on over the team stats, total plays, rush plays, pass plays, yards, rush yards, pass yards, sacks, with Wichita beating them 4-2, and turnovers. And for anyone who is oddly enough of a sicko to look at the stats, we're going to go ahead and do some quick stats here, as here's the receiving leaders, defensively, tackle leaders. Let's get all the way down there. Sack leaders, interception leaders, TFL, TDs, deflected passes, forced fumbles, recoveries. Punt returns and a touchdown, Raymond Brooks. Kick return, there we go, is Malcolm Braxton. Field goals made, 2 of 3. Extra points, 3 of 3. Punts, 5, 1 of the 20, 1 touchback. Good average. Head on over OKC, the losing team. Rushing, of course, we can see. Then we head on over the receiving leaders, as 3 players did not come down with the reception, though they were targeted once. Tackles, when you see 12, I mean, that, you know something's up. That means that offense was running roughshod all over them. 2 forced fumbles, 0 recoveries. That's got to be a bad day. I think if OKC recovers those, they possibly win. Joey Visconti, 1 field goal attempt, 0 made, 1 extra point made, 1 extra point attempted, 9 punts, 2 in the 20, 1 touchback. All right, that's all of it from us, ladies and gentlemen. I am Cole. Thank you all for watching. Have a wonderful day. And wow, what a game that was.